And welcome once again to our channel. Today you find us in a place called Newton Tony, and we're going to try and find traces of the old branch line to Amesbury and Bulford. We're in a place called Newton Tony, which is a very small village. I think we're in Wiltshire.
Yes, I think we are.
Primarily, when I got to see what's left of the railway, it had a station. It was on a branch line to Amesbury and Bulford, although it was only a light railway, single track.
Oh, I love that. Thatch end, middle thatch.
Oh yeah. I'll look at the church while we're here. St Andrews, Newton Tony. A nice spire. See if the door's open. Nicely kept, mowed.
So, yes.
Locked. Well, that's that then. We can't get in the church, so we make our way up past the pub, up to the railway station that was. On this side there's lovely roots coming down the bank from those trees. A yew tree actually.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Steps to nowhere. I guess somebody's house up there, I don't know. There's a wall there leaning back into the bank. It's too far from the railway to be anything to do with the railway. I've got some blue stone bricks on top, which they used a lot. I've come in the top of Station House now. Well, I mean the far end might be original, but the rest of it's quite modern. There would have been a level crossing here, gated, I would imagine. Probably a signal box to operate it. And the track then went to Amesbury, more or less straight across, I think. Possibly up this track here. Winterbourne Downs, it's a reserve. Yes, I would think that's the railway track ahead. Through the gap. But we don't want to go that way. It's a long way across Amesbury. You need to get through here somehow. It doesn't look very easy. Well, I think the track of the railway is across there, and there's a gate just in the trees there. That looks like the old line of it. Don't think we can get into it. So we'll make our way back to the car and drive further up the road and see what we can find. Because it does cross the line at one point. Shot of the village and the church. There's a pub just there around the corner. Whether it's open or not, I wouldn't know. Old Cottage. I've seen them before with bottles set in the wall. Well, here's the pub. if it still is a pub, Mallet Arms. Didn't look very open to me.
Closed Monday and Tuesday.
Wasn't much good then. Wrong day.
True. You're welcome.
The Bourne River. Well, but it would be good to see all the winter bournes. I'm not sure that it runs all the year round, but it's certainly running at the moment. New post office service, mobile. Our post office branch, a big red, specially adapted van with a normal shop counter, is coming to Newton Toney every week to provide most of the services you'd expect. Before it, lots of bluebells about though.
Yeah.
That's Springbourne.
Yeah.
That's logical, isn't it? Bourne only runs in the spring. These thatch, oh, that looks like a newish one, this end. By the porch anyway.
I think it's pretty old. I think this building's pretty old.
A bit older than the other end, I think. Tudor cottage, that's lovely. That's lovely. That's the old reading room. And there's a lovely old cottage next to it. This old place has got a date there, 1726. Heading back to the car, we turn the car around and go the other way as far as we can down that road. The railway was originally built in 1898 and primarily it was used by the Army, MOD, for their places at Bulford and beyond, and Salisbury Plain areas. So that was the main object of it for their use, and not passengers, just army materials, vehicles, and staff. And this is the old bridge, first bridge over the branch line. I wanted to get down off that track, but I just couldn't. I couldn't find a way down. A very steep-sided cutting. Just can't get into it. So many trees in the way now. Very substantial bridge for just a by-road. Right, we now get the shadow out of it. Amesbury junction, where the line joined the main line to Salisbury. Well, there's the main line, and they now call it Arlington Junction. If we go this way, this is where the track came down. It actually went under the main line and then up the other side to go to Salisbury. Turn off. This path taking us down towards Greatley now. We should come to the branch that went to Greatley. It was a kind of wide junction. It's all single track. fact, I can see a railway fence post over there. Concrete and sleeper. Right, let's carry on round, mind the water. Somewhere back through there was the bridge where the track we're walking on must have been an infill from in much more recent times, because there you can see on current map is the Y junction on the Amesbury turn off left, and then one from the right, and the one that were underneath as well. In this picture, a train from Bulford has passed onto the main line. It's now starting to climb up to the down line and rejoin. In this other picture, it's see a bridge 202 there. That's gone completely now. There should be a track here. There's the railway fence posts and the railway wires, etc. Right, let's go a bit further. We should come to the Greatley branch. There's a railway fencing in this area, but it can only be been to stop people coming into the centre of the triangle of lines. I would say it's all been replaced by this modern fence on this side. This is much nearer the main line. Oh yes, a bit of fencing this side now, the railway side. Right there's the end of the new fence attached to a rail training post. I come to the train, but I can't see it now. There you go. Oh, we found the line that turns eastwards. There's the line of the fence. So the track came up this side of it. Went through, and I would think it went through those gates there. When I've travelled the line on the train, there's a trackway, just a, well, you could drive a car down alongside the railway, and I think it might not have actually joined the main line. It may have gone into Greatley station, which had a bay platform. Should have been here when that train went through, shouldn't we? Hey?
What?
We should have been here when that train went through.
Yes.
A trio of gate posts there and strainer posts. Only one of which is doing well. One's got the gate hung on it, a new gate, with the warnings on it. A padlock. Somewhere down there was Bridge 201, which took the track underneath the main line. And also in that area, a bit higher up, was a pair of cottages built for signalmen in the adjacent signal boxes, of which there are quite a few in the area, being a multi-track junction. Right, I've returned to the old railway track bed the next morning, and the weather's not quite as good today, but it's dry but cloudy. But I'm going to go the opposite way, instead of going straight on and then left to the Amesbury and the Greatley connection. I'll go the other way towards the Salisbury connection. Oh, very close to the railway track now. Just around this corner I should be able to see the line, or whether there's actually a bridge or not. Well, I'm up against the cutting, and in fact the railway is in a deep cutting here, so I'm not going to see much. I can't see a footbridge. It's a bit annoying. The other side of the line is all MOD property. Well, the only thing I'm going to find here is Blackthorn. There's no way through to the railway. My map shows a crossing, but if there is one there, it's been blocked off with barbed wire. Just go back up here a little way, but I'm beyond the point on the map now. I think that lane I walked up and drove up continued across the railway on a bridge, Bridge 202, probably to sort of farmers' fields on the other side. But since the MOD took it over for Porton Down, that's all been axed. Nobody's allowed there. It's strictly out of bounds. Warnings everywhere, keep out. So there's not much chance of finding a bridge. It's just completely demolished and gone. Train for Salisbury, still only half painted and half of it's in the new colours and the other half's in the old colours. It's been like that for about 6 years now. Well, that's about it. There's no way I can see through, and I can't see any trace of a track that came off the Andover line, Andover bound line, London bound line if you like. I went to Amesbury. But what there is here is a lovely field of cowslips, so we'll try and get a decent picture of before I go back. I can see a way through. I'll not fall over the brambles. Here we are. I haven't seen so many cowslips in a field for ever. I know there's some grow on a bank north of Andover, but not as many as this. This is going to be it's a 20-acre field. You can clearly see the two embankments over there. One which came through towards Salisbury, that were under the main line, and beyond that is the one that travelled to Greatly. There was no way onto them, unfortunately, from here. So I'm still none the wiser how I got underneath that bridge on the road where the cart's parked. There's no way into it at that point. The embankment's too steep, and yet it's well trodden. Bit of mystery up there. It will have to remain a mystery, I guess. I mean, this is a very good road. It doesn't go anywhere. It just stops dead at the end. I only assume it's for maintenance people and access to the railway. There's a couple of entrances along there. One I filmed that train going through, and further on where the Greatly branch went through. That's the only thing it can be. There's no other purpose for it. It might as well be a farm track. Here we are on the cowslips. There's the embankment over there. I can't see the other one, just above it. Above this first one, see the other embankment which went through towards Greatly. So a bit of a wasted journey, but I had to find out. I had to know whether I could possibly get across the railway or see it any better or find any link westbound. I can see there the embankment drops down to go under the bridge, and there looks to be a gate at the end. I just wonder if I can get to it. Alas, there was no way through, so I could do no more. Just see it from a distance. Clearly see the Y shape of the two embankments going in different directions. Oh yes, it's steep, but nothing I can't cope with. A bridge. I found the railway bridge. Bridge 209. That's a good clue anyway. Well, according to my maps, Edmonton Holt was just down there somewhere. Must be around the other side of that curve. Now looking east, I can see a bridge in the distance. Now, I was looking for that one the other day, I could not find it. Because the bit of chalk I can see must be the overbridge. So that's the bridge I'm stood on looking down, so it's right underneath, virtually underneath the bridge, Bridge 209. Mainly used for staff to a Porton Down camp. Both Edmonton and Porton stations closed in 1968. Well, I'm going to go up this path on the left again. I've seen the bridge from a distance. I know it's up there. God knows where. I certainly couldn't see it the other day. Ah, there it is, Bridge 207. Just got to get into it, that's the problem. No, there's no way into it. Can't get through this wire, it's too tight. And down that way is still older wire. This I suspect might have been the entrance, but been replaced at some time. New section. Very annoying. There we are. That ladder, I couldn't get over there. So I have to enjoy the Odyssey rape. It's just starting to go over a bit now.